What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Sean Harness, and thank you for joining me. So, look, last week we had a conversation about networking, really why networking is important. Today, we're going to have a continuation of that discussion, and we're going to jump into the topic of relationship building, mainly because I feel like relationship building is a lost art. And if you think about it, the last time you were working at a company and you got passed up for a promotion for someone that really wasn't deserving of that promotion, maybe they didn't perform as well as you, maybe they didn't know the job as well, maybe they just weren't a good fit for the company. Why do you feel that they got promoted and you didn't? I like to feel that about 90% of the time it's because that person has developed a great relationship to the decision maker, which allowed them to move from one position to the next, one level to the next. I want to give you some really good tips today that I've learned from a lot of my mentors about how to genuinely build relationships and what that can do for you personally and professionally. Let's go. So, brief introduction. My name is Sean Harness. I am a business strategist, also an engineer. I spend a lot of time building and managing several multi-million-dollar businesses within a few Fortune 500 companies. I have a passion for economic empowerment. My goal is to help you secure the wealth you deserve in your everyday life. So what that means is I want to help you control those coins. I want you to have more money coming into your bank account than you have going out. I think that you guys can benefit from understanding some really good tips on how to just really elevate your relationships to the next level. Your romantic relationships, your professional relationships, your relationships even with your friends. I think that those are all areas that we can all do better in. And here's what I feel like is really interesting. As you go through life, you will notice and you will begin to understand at some point in time that there's always ups and downs, hills and valleys. And that's what happens in relationships. As you mature, your partner or even your friend or even your coworker may or may not mature with you at the same level. So because of that, there is that soft skill of being able to plug in and build that relationship with that person. If you like what you hear today, be sure to go check out my website at seanharness.com. I have a free 3-day money video course called the Mindful Money course that will give you some really good tips on how to level up in your business and your career. So one of the first things that I think is very important that you need to do is really understand your why. When I was working in corporate America for a larger company, we had this exercise that we would do. It was called the 5 whys. So basically, if you want to walk and go to the store, well, why? Well, because I want to get some bread. Well, why? Because I'm hungry. Well, why are you hungry? Well, why? So if you can understand the pattern of what I'm doing, this is a good exercise for really anything that you're looking to do. So let me jump in and say from a romantic perspective, if you're starting to date someone, sometimes you need to ask yourself the question, well, are you looking to go deeper in this relationship? Is it a pass-through type of dating relationship where you've seen some things and you're just not privy to or you don't like, that you don't want to jump into? And then when it comes to a professional relationship, same thing. It's what do you want from this professional relationship? Some relationships are more transactional, meaning that you meet them kind of where they are. And some are a little bit deeper than that. So in one of my other videos, I talked about how time is one of our most precious resources. And in this regard, I'm talking about time as a resource, but also the ability to be present. Because honestly, being present, man, listen, being present is so important. And when I say be present, if you're spending time with one of your friends that you're catching up with, don't just be doing this the whole time, staring at your phone. Put the phone down. The post can wait. The text message, that can wait. Whatever it is, it can wait. All right, so another really powerful way to develop relationships with people is to develop a sense of empathy. People will always forget what you said, they'll forget what you did, but they will never forget how you made them feel. So here's a 1-2 punch, I like to call it, because being someone who's dating a psychologist, I feel like I've had an opportunity to truly learn and understand empathy. It's really important if you do something wrong to your friend, to your significant other, really to apologize. And then once you apologize, cool off yourself. Like, yeah, cool off. Like, it may be a really hard or really tough conversation, a really heavy conversation that you actually need some time to cool off too. And then once you've cooled off, move forward accordingly. So another element that I think that's really important is to learn to give and take feedback accordingly. So from a give feedback perspective, I feel like it's really powerful to be able to focus on facts first and then focus on feelings. I've talked about this a lot because facts are facts, right? They are what they are. And as we jump into feelings, that's something, it goes to the empathy piece that I just talked about a second ago. That one's a little bit more complex. And then from a taking feedback perspective, I think it's important to, and my fiance, we talk about this all the time, take the meat and leave the bones, right? So if someone gives you feedback, it may not always be good feedback. All in all, I feel like giving and taking feedback will allow you to genuinely build up the relationship that you have with that person. It will allow you to get closer. It will allow you to give you that true bond with that person. So something else I think that's very important is to celebrate people's wins. The word congratulations is one of the most flattering ways to show someone that you're giving them respect. Celebrate even when you're not doing well. When you have a friend or a significant other, someone, a colleague, they may be doing much better than you when you may not be doing so well, but celebrate them still. Because at the end of the day, that's what that person is going to remember. That's what's going to allow you to draw closer to that person, to develop that relationship with them, because you're not always going to be at the top of the hill, just winning all the time. Because people who show up for you in that time where, let's say you're not doing well and that person is doing well, people who show up and are able to be present, this is the difference between someone being in your circle, but not necessarily in your corner. Lastly, I would say what's most important about developing relationships is that focus back on yourself. A lot of us have had some bad things happen in our past, whether that's in a romantic relationship, a very bad experience. And with that very bad experience, I'm sure that you can understand that not all people are bad. There are a lot of good people in the world. Because of that, I think that it's important to take some self-inventory, figure out what it is that makes you feel a certain way about people, and find healthy ways to knock that down and get over that. And that's our time today, guys. Thank you for joining me. When you get a minute to go check out my website, SeanHarness.com. As I said before, I have that free 3-day money video course there for you to check out to elevate your business as well as your career. If you like what you heard today, be sure to hit the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so that you guys can know when I get ready to post a new video or post new content. Until then, we out.